Hultgren is recognized for his questions.
Thank you, Chairman, and thank you both for being here. This is an important hearing as we continue our oversight of the James Webb Space Telescope and review recent problems that we've had. Back in hearing in 2011 on the issues with the telescope, I talked about my thoughts of the importance of American leadership in these fields and how this really is part of who we are as a nation and the fact that we continue to be an exceptional nation. It's important to acknowledge that we've had some very serious issues with project management over the life of this program. But we also have to remind ourselves that we're almost over the finish line, and this is truly where we all do want to be. Many people looked at that 2011 replan as the last chance. So obviously is not what we want to see. Administrator Bridenstine, thank you for your work. It's so good to see you back here, and especially in the role that you're in. So congratulations and thanks for your work. Also, it was good to see you last night, and again, want to commend you on the vision that you're bringing to NASA and the direction that the President and the administration has charged you with and NASA with. It's exciting, and you can just feel the excitement that so many are sharing with that. You know about my views on these world-leading projects. I've always been so proud of NASA's ability to inspire and bring others along with. This is certainly from young children that you inspire in STEM to also our foreign partners on ISS or other ESA projects. I wondered if you could discuss some other projects that NASA is working on or planning and how the capabilities of James Webb are necessary for them to get the best science. In short, how many other investments are we making that rely on this initial investment, and what else do we have to lose if this does not go up?
James Webb, when you think of the astrophysics division of the Science Mission Directorate, James Webb is one piece. And there are other missions out there that can help us ultimately, that are less expensive, less capable, but ultimately can help us determine how to best use James Webb as a force multiplier, if you will. So it is absolutely true that we think of it as a system of systems, and that some of the smaller missions inform how we want to use the flagship missions. That being said, we have to get this right. As Tom Young mentioned, there's over 300 parts that are single points of failure, which is why we are testing it and retesting it and testing it some more to make sure that it works. And every single one of these, I want to be clear about this too. 300 single points of failure is a lot. That's not what NASA normally does. NASA does normally have projects that have a lot of single points of failure. The Curiosity rover that landed on Mars had over 70 single points of failure. It's a successful mission, overwhelmingly successful. We are discovering right now that there are complex organic compounds on Mars, which has never been determined before, and now we're finding them, which increases the probability of life. Methane, of course, cycles are we now know that methane cycles are commensurate with the seasons on Mars, and in fact, today you're going to probably see reports that we have found what appears to be liquid water about 1.5 kilometers below the surface of Mars. Amazing. That wasn't from Curiosity. That's from another satellite mission around Mars that has a radar. But these are capabilities that we make investments in. They have single points of failure. This one's more complex. There's more single points of failure. We have to be more diligent about every aspect. It's why we're putting so much effort into mission assurance and other things. But it is a force multiplier, as you're acknowledging, that the other missions that we do are excellent. This actually makes them even better. It makes those investments even better.
It's really helpful. Let me get on to one last quick question,
Yes,
last
sir.
minute here. Administrator, you brought up this a little bit last night, but I think it would be good to get it on the record. And this is also something that I had asked former NASA Administrator Griffin, and it's something that worries me as we work with other nations on world-leading science experiments. What is the first question you get from our foreign partners when you come to them and see how we can collaborate? I'm always worried about our budgetary process and especially CRs, but your comments last night did give me hope. Wondered just for a little bit, if you could talk about what you're hearing from collaborators.
Thank you for bringing that up. I just got back from the Farnborough Air Show. The heads of space agencies from throughout the world were there, and and we had great collaborations. I was going with a mindset that I'm going to have to make a sales pitch, that we're going forward to the moon with a sustainable architecture so that this time we can stay, and then we're going to go on to Mars. We need all of our international partners involved and more, and we need not just our international partners but commercial partners. And I was going there to make a sales pitch. And overwhelmingly what I heard from our international partners, which we've established strong partnerships with, I think it's over 90 different countries at this point, although they weren't all at this one event. What I heard overwhelmingly is, tell us what we need to do. It wasn't me trying to make a sales pitch. They're ready to go. That's great. They want direction, and then they can sell their governments, and we can move forward as a body. Space represents, in my view, a very strong, soft power tool for the United States of America to establish leadership. James Webb is a perfect example of that. The European Space Agency is providing 2 scientific instruments. They're providing scientists that are going to be integrated with our scientists on James Webb, and they're providing the launch capability. So the European Space Agency has really stepped up to the plate on James Webb. They're making sacrifices the same as we're making sacrifices because they, like us, believe it will be worth it.
Gentleman's time has expired.
Yield back.
Chair now recognizes the gentleman